CBS.
In this recession, it's getting harder and harder to pay for a college education. In January, the number of students seeking federal financial aid jumped 14%. The good news is 92% of private colleges and universities plan to increase their student aid budgets. As CBS's Byron Pitts tells us, some colleges are taking aggressive steps to make college more affordable.
Any other semester, Susan Mescola might have been forced to drop out of school. A senior at St. Peter's College in Jersey City, New Jersey, her family came up short on tuition.
My parents cannot pay right now.
She's not alone. In years past, the small private school saw about 12 students a semester who were unable to pay their tuition. But last semester, that number jumped to 123, nearly 5% of the student body.
This is about as bad as it's been.
College President Gene Carnaccia realized he had a major problem, so he came up with a plan.
We try to be very flexible. We've tightened our belts here at the college and trimmed our budgets to try to free up some additional resources.
How? By cutting back on things like daily trash pickups to twice a week, saving $100,000 a year. They've delayed hiring, a $200,000 savings, all in an effort to increase financial aid packages to keep kids like Susan in school. Across the country, colleges are taking extraordinary steps to reduce the financial burden on students. One school, William Jessup University in Rockland, California, has lowered its tuition by 2.5%, a savings of $500 per student. Several schools like Dartmouth College in New Hampshire are eliminating tuition for families who earn less than $75,000 a year. April McAllister ran out of options.
I struggled through last semester just thinking about how I was going to pay tuition.
A student at Atlanta Spelman College, she was forced to drop out because she couldn't pay the $3,700 she owes on tuition. And she's having no luck finding a job.
They hired everybody they're going to be hiring. So I guess it's back to the drawing board again.
At Spelman, more than 500 of its 2,100 students found themselves in financial difficulty. So last December, the school started the Starfish Fund, where donors make tuition payments for Spelman students near graduation.
We're at risk of losing a whole generation of students, young women and men who have done everything we've asked them to do.
And it won't get easier for colleges or students. Many are facing state budget cuts and shrinking endowments, which means higher tuitions next year. Byron Pitts, CBS News, Jersey City, New Jersey.
President Obama is expected to soon lift restrictions on stem cell research. It's a breakthrough the scientific world and one young woman in particular have been waiting for. CBS's Daniel Seberg reports.
8 words on Inauguration Day.
We will restore science to its rightful place.
That reverberated through the scientific community and gave hope to 33-year-old Ashley Lauren Fisher.
This is something huge. This is going to affect lives.
Fisher broke her neck while swimming 10 years ago. She believes stem cell research may hold the answer to regaining her mobility. While the Bush administration restricted federal funding for this type of research,
even the most noble ends do not justify any means.
President Obama has pledged he will reverse those restrictions, and soon.
There were no steps going on for 8 years. And even though now we've started the baby steps, hopefully in 4 years we'll be running. And eventually I'll be running.
We are at the dawn of a new age.
Peter Kiernan is with the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation.
We're not going to get people out of chairs with stem cells right away, but we're going to be able to start the work we've been itching to do.
The sense from many scientists is that President Obama appears to at least respect their work. It's a stark contrast to the Bush years, widely perceived as anti-science, something not lost on late-night TV.
If the Bush administration was so bad for science, how come the last 8 years we went from 1 to 3 CSIs?
It's no joke to climate change expert Michael Oppenheimer. He supports Mr. Obama for taking global warming seriously and for believing green jobs can grow the economy.
Economic growth comes from developing new technologies, and new technologies come from new scientific understanding. No new science, no new technology, no long-term economic growth.
A real test of Mr. Obama's commitment to pure science will come when he appoints a new NASA administrator. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson says NASA needs to be pioneering great discoveries.
People say, why are we spending money up there and not down here? We first learned about global warming, about the greenhouse effect on the planet Venus.
Ultimately, Tyson believes Mr. Obama sees science as not just a budget issue, but as something fundamental to the future of our nation.
We used to dream about tomorrow. Nobody dreams about tomorrow anymore. Whatever happened to Tomorrowland?
Well, for many in the scientific community, the dream is back. Daniel Seberg, CBS News, New York.
In this economy, there was at least one investment that panned out. 10 workers in New Jersey put $5 each into a lottery pool. They won $216 million. Christine Sloan from our New York station WCBS TV has their story.
We had people running down the hall. You won, you won, you won.
All it took was $1 and a dream. 10 co-workers at a Chubb insurance office in White House Station, New Jersey, pooled their resources and won last night's Mega Millions jackpot. The IT workers have been playing the lottery for several years now.
When it reaches a certain point, Al Mooney will start the lottery. We'll start buying the tickets and ask if people want to join.
But on Monday, with the heavy snow falling and the jackpot climbing above $200 million, Bob Space realized Al was out of town. He dug his car out and went to buy $50 worth of tickets at a gas station in his Toms River hometown. So what were the magic numbers that won he and his friends all that dough?
26, 32, 35, 43, 52, and 10.
Bob bought tickets for his colleague Oscar Oviedo, who hadn't yet given him the money for this week's drawing. Later, he asked Oscar for the $5, then told him he just found out they had a winning ticket.
And he's like, well, you pay me, right? I said, yeah, I'll pay you. So he's like, okay, so now you're a millionaire.
The co-workers plan to take a lump sum payment. Even with all that cash now coming to them, it took a while for the good news to sink in.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a real joke. You know, because we won $7 last week. I said, what do we win? $4 this week?
That was WCBS TV's Christine Sloan reporting. You're watching CBS News Up to the Minute.
Hi, I'm Jeff Katz from Dolphin Carpet and Tile. During these tough economic times, we've slashed our prices to the lowest levels in our history, and I've authorized 18-month no-interest financing. Dolphin Carpet and Tile wants your business. Now is the time to buy.
Are you one of the 47 million Americans without health insurance? If you've avoided getting health insurance because you think it's too expensive or you don't qualify, think again. Synergy Health Preferred is health insurance, and you qualify regardless of any pre-existing conditions. Coverage is very affordable, for about $6 a day for individuals and $10 a day for an entire family. And best of all, with the Synergy Health Preferred plan, you are free to choose your own doctors and hospitals. This health insurance plan includes coverage for doctors, hospitals, accidents, pregnancy, labs, diagnostics, emergencies, and more. Synergy Health Preferred even covers surgery with no deductibles and no annual limits. Enroll in Synergy Preferred 1000 and you'll receive our discount dental and prescription programs at no additional cost. Thousands of people like you already enjoy excellent coverage for about $6 a day. Don't wait another day.
Call 1-800-390-9813. That's 1-800-390-9813.
If you were injured in a car accident, would you call Steinger, Isco, and Green?
Absolutely. The insurance companies have lawyers on their side. You should have a lawyer on yours, too.
Sure I would. You make one call and let them help you with all the hassles.
Well, it could be a smart choice. You don't pay anything unless they win your case.
If I were injured, I'd want all the help I could get. Wouldn't you?
If you've been injured, call Steinger, Isco, and Green. 1-800-561-1111. Non-lawyer spokespersons.
Hi, I'm Jeff Katz from Dolphin Carpet and Tile. During these tough economic times, we've slashed our prices to the lowest levels in our history. No reasonable offer will be refused. Dolphin Carpet and Tile wants your business. If you need new flooring, now is the time to buy.
We close this half hour with a group of tireless men who were taken for granted just when they were in their prime. CBS's Randall Pinkston has their story.
The Pullman porter begins to change seats into beds.
They were pioneers, a new kind of worker for the new age of train travel.
How long were you a Pullman car porter?
35 years.
What year did you begin?
1941. I was cutting the road.
Linus Scott, now 98 years old, was one of 20,000 Pullman porters.
Some good days and some bad days. But you take the good with the bad.
They were all African-American men, hired by luxury sleeper car innovator George Pullman soon after the Civil War to cater to the demands of well-heeled travelers.
They had spent their entire life doing what their masters had told them, and what George Pullman envisioned was when they went out on the rail cars, they would do the same things for his customers.
Many earned only $1 a day, working long hours with very little sleep.
3 hours a night.
So you worked 21 hours and you slept 3?
That's right.
But they made tips, saving each dime and dollar, creating the foundation of the black middle class and a better life for their children.
All started from Pullman. That's where it started from.
But Pullman porters also influenced social change after A. Philip Randolph founded the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, the nation's first black labor union.
Why you going? Why you hit it?
When Rosa Parks was arrested in 1955, her first call was to her boss, a Pullman porter named E.D. Nixon.
While the men who wore the uniform were laying the foundation for the black middle class, the black labor movement, and the civil rights movement, they were sometimes denigrated in media stereotypes.
On stage and in movies, Pullman porters were often caricatured, their professionalism ridiculed.
Boy, what a crap game I could have with this.
Today, fewer than 100 porters are still alive. Amtrak has spent the last year celebrating their historic contributions.
The Pullman porter was one of the leaders. One of the leaders, you know.
Make you feel pretty proud, doesn't it?
Yes.
A proud life on the rails, which created a lasting legacy. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Chicago.
Thanks for joining us this half hour. This is CBS News Up to the Minute.
Can where you live improve your chances of surviving cancer? New information revealed in the Nationwide Cancer Report Card. Tonight on the CBS Evening News. CBS News is very good news.
Now on CBS News Up to the Minute.
It will not reward folks who bought homes they knew from the beginning they would never be able to afford.
President Obama unveils his homeowner rescue package.
The real attempt here was to close the courthouse door to lawsuits.
But the Supreme Court rules that drug makers can be sued for damages even if their drugs carry an FDA warning. Good morning from CBS News headquarters in New York. This is Up to the Minute. I'm Michelle Gielim. Former First Lady Barbara Bush is said to be resting comfortably this morning after undergoing open-heart surgery at a hospital in Houston. Doctors scheduled the procedure after Mrs. Bush developed shortness of breath last week. She had one valve replaced and is expected to make a full recovery. Also in the hospital this morning, actor and comedian Robin Williams. He canceled this week's shows in Florida and checked himself in after experiencing shortness of breath. His 80-city comedy tour resumes on Monday in Jacksonville. In Washington, top aides to former President Bush, Karl Rove and Harriet Miers, have agreed to testify about their roles in the firing of U.S. attorneys. The Bush White House insisted they ignore congressional subpoenas. The pair will now give sworn depositions and could be called to testify publicly. At least 8 federal prosecutors were fired by the Bush Justice Department, allegedly for political reasons. The Federal Reserve released its latest gauge of economic activity, and it landed like a bomb. The Fed's Beige Book says economic conditions deteriorated in January and February. Prospects for improvement in the near term are poor, and a significant rebound isn't expected until late this year or maybe next. Meanwhile, President Obama rolled out his plan to help as many as 9 million homeowners in danger of foreclosure. Chief White House correspondent Chip Reed has details.
The Obama administration officially kicked off its plan to help millions of struggling families stay in their homes, a program with two major parts. The first is intended to help 3 to 4 million homeowners on the brink of foreclosure by providing $75 billion in incentives for lenders and homeowners to modify mortgages. When the president first previewed the plan 2 weeks ago, he said it will only help people who've acted responsibly.
It will not reward folks who bought homes they knew from the beginning they would never be able to afford.
So who's eligible for help? Only homeowners who can no longer afford their monthly payments because their interest rate has increased, they're bringing in less income due, for example, to job loss, or they're experiencing a hardship, such as high medical bills. For people who meet one of those requirements, the next step is to go to the Treasury Department website, financialstability.gov, and answer some questions, including, is your home your primary residence? And is the amount you owe on your home less than $729,750? Questions intended to weed out speculators, investors, and high-income earners. Those who think they qualify will have to prove it by submitting financial information, including tax returns, pay stubs, credit card balances, even a sworn affidavit explaining their financial hardship. The second part of the program would help 4 to 5 million homeowners refinance to lower mortgage rates, but only if their home loans are held by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
The housing program needs no approval by Congress. It starts now. So the White House says if you think you qualify, call your mortgage company. But they also say, please be patient because those phone lines are swamped. Chip Reed, CBS News, the White House.
The Obama plan will not help every American homeowner who's underwater. Right now, 1 out of every 5 owe more on their mortgage than their house is worth. CBS's Ben Tracy reports.
Good job, buddy.
The Jenkins family is caught in a flood of falling home prices. They're now underwater. That means they owe more on their mortgage than their house is worth.
We've made this house our home, and like so many other people out there, we might have to walk away.
They bought this home in a once thriving area near Los Angeles in 2005, at the peak of the market. They paid $700,000. They still owe $540,000, yet their house is now worth just $350,000, putting them underwater by $190,000. Most homeowners with so-called negative equity live in states already battered by foreclosure. In Nevada, every other person with a mortgage is underwater, 40% in Michigan. Arizona, Florida, and California round out the top 5. Owing more than your house is worth really matters when you need to sell. Here's the problem. You're underwater, you lose your job, and you need to relocate to find work. You're stuck.
It really freezes people in place.
Economists are now worried that homeowners who can't afford to stay and can't afford to leave will slow down any economic recovery.
And the ultimate upshot of this is unemployment rates will stay higher longer than they otherwise would.
Meanwhile, the part of the Obama plan written for these homeowners doesn't help those who owe more than 5% of what their house is now worth. The Jenkins owe 54% more. They're hoping their bank will rewrite their loan.
We're at the bottom. We can only go up, right?
Walk with Miss Dia. Look both ways.
Ben Tracy, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A major legal victory for consumers. The Supreme Court ruled that drug makers can be sued for damages even if their drugs carry an FDA-approved warning. CBS's Wyatt Andrews reports.
She is a music teacher from rural Vermont, but she beat the drug companies at the Supreme Court. And what Diana Levine won in a victory for all patients was the right to sue.
I just feel like such a huge weight has been lifted off of me.
9 years ago, Diana lost her right forearm when a local clinic gave her the nausea drug Phenergan by a method called IV push, a method linked to 20 cases of gangrene and amputation. But the drug's maker, Wyeth, never listed that risk on the drug's warning label.
When Diana then won a $6.7 million jury award, Wyeth came here to the Supreme Court with a groundbreaking appeal. It asked the court to rule that federal FDA approval of a drug should put an end to state court claims alleging harm.
The real attempt here was to close the courthouse door to lawsuits and cut off any compensation for people who are harmed by defective or mislabeled drugs.
But the court, led by Justice Stevens, ruled that Congress did not intend FDA oversight to be the exclusive means of ensuring drug safety. And besides, Stevens wrote, Wyeth had a duty to provide a more adequate warning. The ruling means that future drug safety cases, the next Vioxx, the next Fen-Phen, can move forward, as can other state court claims against the railroads or car makers.
All I got's a hold.
In this true-life case of David versus Goliath, David, or Diana Levine, might finally collect that jury award. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
When Up to the Minute returns, the president of Sudan is indicted for war crimes against his own people in Darfur, where as many as 300,000 have died, another 2.5 million are homeless. We'll have details in 2 minutes. This is CBS News, Up to the Minute.
Have you gone to BrickOhanaDirect.com yet? What are you waiting for? That's where you'll find the lowest price on a new Honda.
Just log on, select the Honda you want with the financing and options you choose, then push a button.
It's that simple. Within a few minutes, you'll have your price, the lowest price.
BrickOhanaDirect.com. It's the fastest growing way to buy a new Honda for less. We'll even deliver your new Honda to you for free. Get a quick quote now. BrickOhanaDirect.com. Try it. If you're looking for a new vehicle, you've got to go to BrickOhanaDirect.com.
A Discovery Cruise offers all the amenities of a longer cruise in one fun-filled day to Grand Bahama. Visit DiscoveryCruiseLine.com. Even choose to cruise and stay in Grand Bahama.
Spring is in the air, and it's time to let go on a Discovery Fun Day cruise from only $49.99 per person, or on a one-night cruise and stay vacation from as low as $69.99 per person. Prices include 2 all-you-can-eat buffet meals on the round-trip cruise. Call 877-508-7477. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done. This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-974-4389. That's 1-800-974-4389. Call now.
The International Criminal Court in The Hague, Netherlands, issued an arrest warrant Wednesday for Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir. He's charged with crimes against humanity in Darfur. UN officials say more than 200,000 people have been killed there since rebels began fighting the government in 2003. Up to the Minute contributor Frank Uciardo sat down with Sudan's ambassador to the United Nations and has more on the story.
A sitting president of a sovereign nation has been indicted for the murder and rape of civilians in his own country.
Omar al-Bashir is suspected of being criminally responsible as an indirect co-perpetrator, or in the alternative, as an indirect perpetrator, for intentionally directing attacks against an important part of the civilian population of Darfur, Sudan, murdering, exterminating, raping, torturing.
Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir denies the charges, and his UN ambassador totally rejected the court's claim.
We strongly condemn this move, which is politically motivated and which aimed at destabilizing the country.
One of the prosecutors have said that they actually have evidence that your president, Bashir, has been criminally involved in directing murders, rapes, torture, and the forced movement of civilians in your country.
This is all baseless. Darfur issue is a problem that has been blown out of proportion. It is a traditional conflict like many in Africa and elsewhere, whose root causes are in poverty and underdevelopment.
Fighting in Darfur began in 2003 when mostly non-Arab rebels took up arms against a central government they accused of neglect. UN officials estimate that more than 200,000 people have died and another 2.7 million have fled their homes in the conflict.
Any war situation, unfortunately, brings brutalities and bring violations of human rights here and there. This is war, unfortunately.
And Ambassador Abdel Halim Mohammed says that all sitting presidents, including Bashir, have legal immunity from criminal prosecution.
The heads of state, those in office, enjoy immunity from prosecution.
Even for murder, even for rape, even for torture?
No, it is not that. It should not be put in that order, because if the head of state is held accountable for situations like this, then should we also call President Bush responsible for what is going on in Iraq?
The head of Human Rights Watch believes President Bashir will eventually be arrested.
The International Criminal Court has essentially put out a wanted poster for President Omar al-Bashir of Sudan.
But there has already been a backlash against Darfur's war-torn refugees. In the wake of the Bashir arrest warrant, Sudan has ordered 10 international humanitarian organizations expelled from Darfur. The Arab League of Nations, representing 22 countries, has also rejected the ICC's arrest warrant, arguing the indictment threatens a peace deal in the region. And China, which buys about 2/3 of Sudan's oil, is now requesting the court suspend trying that case. Michelle?
All right, Frank Ciardo, thank you so much for that report. Pakistani authorities say they have few leads into who was behind Tuesday's shocking attack on the Sri Lankan cricket team. The team and its police escorts were ambushed on their way to a match. 14 people died and 6 players were wounded. The gunman escaped after battling police for 30 minutes. Pakistan has reeled under a wave of attacks in recent years, mostly carried out by militants linked to the Taliban or al-Qaeda. As CBS's Dave Martin reports, the Pakistani government has an uneasy and sometimes unclear relationship with Washington when it comes to the war on terror.
Viewed from space, this remote airbase in western Pakistan looks innocent enough, until the day a satellite exposes its secret. Those are believed to be Predator drones, which the CIA uses to launch missiles against terrorist safe havens inside Pakistan. Although Pakistan publicly condemns the strikes, it not only provides a base for the drones, but also intelligence about their targets. And it imposes restrictions on exactly which terrorists can be hit. Some of the biggest fish, such as Taliban leader Mullah Omar, are never targeted because of their secret ties to Pakistani intelligence. Christine Fair is with the RAND Corporation.
These fellows are completely off limits. And yet these fellows are so responsible for so much of the violence that's happening in Afghanistan.
In an attempt to stop cross-border raids into Afghanistan, the CIA launched more than 30 missile strikes since last August, killing 9 senior al-Qaeda operatives.
Cannot be overstated how much anti-Americanism exists there. And it's ironic because we spent, what, $12 billion? And what we've gotten for that is a more insecure Pakistan and a Pakistan that's more fearful of us than al-Qaeda.
That's a remarkable statement. Pakistan is an indispensable ally in the war against terror, yet Pakistanis view the U.S. as a greater threat than al-Qaeda. For all its drawbacks, U.S. officials insist that without the attack of the drones, the war in Afghanistan would be going even worse, and the chances of another terrorist strike against the U.S. would be greater. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
And now to some very amazing video, 2 close calls. First, a skydiver in England. He jumps and slams right into the tail of the airplane. Okay, here it is again in slow motion. He was knocked unconscious, but the impact forced open his reserve chute, and so he floated 4,500 feet to the ground. Besides a few bruises, 57-year-old Jamie Robertson was doing fine. In fact, since the accident happened last summer, he's jumped 5 more times. Now, take a look at this. In Turkey, where this tractor trailer couldn't make it over the train tracks in time, but watch from another angle and keep your eyes on the man who's standing by the truck. He gets knocked over and lays motionless for a while, but incredibly, he gets away with only minor injuries. He says he'll always remember that day that it happened. He calls it his new birthday. Coming up next, selling the possessions of the man who had so little, the controversy surrounding an auction of Gandhi's belongings. This is CBS News Up to the Minute.
Sometimes it's hard to tell people their clothes look bad.
Did the sweater stretch, or is it a mini dress?
Maybe not that hard. Now I've learned to keep my clothes looking like new. I wash with Woolite for all fabrics.
Woolite won't cause stretching, and it keeps fibers strong. Don't take a chance. Trust Woolite.
Itchy dry scalp? Could be your shampoo. Finally, there's a new Selsun Blue just for itchy dry scalp. Strong itch fighters, plus 5 hydrating moisturizers. Stop the itch and leave hair healthy.
No more itch.
New Selsun Blue itchy dry scalp.
Got a clue? Get the blue.
Tired of morning coming in the middle of the night? It may be time for 2-layer Ambien CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep. And unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Plan to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with amnesia for the event have been reported. In rare cases, severe allergic reactions can occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. Like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. Wake up ready for your day. Ask your healthcare provider for 2-layer Ambien CR.
I may have eyes in the back of my head, but I can't keep an eye on everything. Thankfully, my air freshener is always watching out. New Airwick Eye Motion lets out continuous fresh scent all day, and its watchful motion sensor detects movement and adjusts the fragrance. One less thing on my watch list. Airwick Eye Motion keeps an eye on fragrance so you don't have to. Airwick, it's good to be home.
Coming up, you need a job in a bad economy. What could be worse? Getting ripped off by an employment scam. The top jobs to stay away from. Coming up on The Early Show. When the questions are just as important as the answers.
Aren't you going to have to tell them that they just can't do that?
There's one place where the biggest names in politics face the facts, face the truth.
How bad is this situation right now?
Face the Nation with Bob Schieffer, Sundays on CBS.
Top stories on Up to the Minute. Barbara Bush is recovering after heart surgery last night in Houston. The operation replaced the former First Lady's aortic valve. Part of President Obama's tax plan is running into opposition from key congressional Democrats. They're worried charities and the housing market could be hurt by the proposal to limit tax deductions for high earners. And First Officer Jeffrey Skiles, the co-pilot aboard the plane that splash landed in New York's Hudson River, has announced he'll return to air by the end of the month. Japan's benchmark Nikkei index closed up 142 points to finish at 7,433. Alexis Christophers has more in this morning's CBS News Money Watch.
We'll see if Wall Street can turn its one-day rally into a winning streak. The Dow jumped nearly 150 points Wednesday after a 5-day sell-off, and the Nasdaq gained close to 33 points. The markets rallied in part because of President Obama's housing plan. The $75 billion federal loan modification program promises to help 9 million homeowners either refinance their mortgage or modify the terms of their loan. More than 8 million homeowners are currently underwater, which means they owe more on their mortgages than their property is worth. A couple of important economic indicators to watch today. We'll find out how many people are signing up for unemployment benefits and get a report on factory orders. Oil prices jumped 9% Wednesday on news crude oil inventories unexpectedly dropped last week. And Switzerland's biggest bank says it won't reveal any more of its American clients to the IRS. The bank UBS has admitted to helping thousands of U.S. citizens hide assets and turned over the names of 300 clients. The IRS wanted the identities of 52,000 Americans believed to have secret accounts at UBS. That's your Money Watch. Log on to CBSNews.com for more. In New York, I'm Alexis Christophorous.
There is controversy over an auction scheduled today in New York. On the block, items which once belonged to Mahatma Gandhi. They include his sandals, pocket watch, glasses, an eating bowl and plate, and results of a blood test. The memorabilia is owned by James Otis. He's a documentary filmmaker who collected the possessions, many of which Gandhi gave away during his life. The Indian government is trying to stop the auction, claiming the items belong to them. Actor Matt Damon is in South Africa visiting refugee camps as part of his humanitarian work. The country is battling to cope with masses of refugees, especially from Zimbabwe, fleeing their homes. As many as 6,000 cross the border daily. Damon pleaded for international help.
Desperately needs addressing, and it's gotten continually worse, and it's going to get continually worse. So the sooner we take action, the less work we're all going to have to do to fix it.
Damon founded a human rights organization called Not on Our Watch with other celebrities, including Brad Pitt and George Clooney. The organization previously drew attention to the crisis in Darfur and assisted with humanitarian aid in Haiti and Myanmar. Chris Brown is expected in an LA court today regarding his arrest last month. The 19-year-old R&B singer was booked on suspicion of making criminal threats after he allegedly assaulted his girlfriend Rihanna the night before the Grammy Awards. Despite that, police have yet to file charges. Police presented their case weeks ago, but prosecutors asked for more information. Now a look at your Thursday morning weather. The latest satellite picture shows skies are mostly cloudy across much of the west, while it's a clear night throughout the east. Later today, the northwest will see scattered showers, while the northeast remains bright and sunny. It'll be another spring-like day across the southern and central plains, with temperatures soaring back into the 70s and 80s. Love that. And a leftover shower or two is possible in central California, but nothing like the rain they've seen all week long. In sports, the NBA had its first playoff team. The Cleveland Cavaliers clinched a spot by beating the Milwaukee Bucks last night. LeBron James led the Cavs with 23 points, and Delonte West added 13 points and a career-high 8 steals. With a 48-12 record, the Cavs wrapped up their fourth straight postseason berth with more than 1 month to go in the regular season. 91-73, the final. The second best team in the East, the Celtics, taking on the Nets. Vince Carter with a big night for New Jersey, scoring 34 points. But it was Paul Pierce's 31 points that helped the Celtics stay in the game. His most important shot, a 17-footer with just 20 seconds left in the game. That clinched it. The C's win 115-111. Shaquille O'Neal is back in Miami to face his former team, the Heat. Shaq finished with 22 points and 8 rebounds before fouling out, but the star of this game was Dwayne Wade, the league leading in scoring, and he sank 35 points and tied his career high with 16 assists. The Heat spoiled Shaq's return to Miami with a 135-129 win.
He's got 32, putting us.
Hi, I'm Jeff Katz from Dolphin Carpet and Tile. During these tough economic times, we've slashed our prices to the lowest levels in our history, and I've authorized 18-month no-interest financing. Dolphin Carpet and Tile wants your business. Now is the time to buy.
It's Mardi Gras time at Universal Studios.
Let the music move you at Universal Studios Mardi Gras, Saturdays and select nights now through April 18th. Enjoy the spectacular parade, beads by the handful, and our most exciting concert lineup ever in our all-new Concert Plaza. Catch live performances by some of the biggest names in music, including Bare Naked Ladies, Montgomery Gentry, Collective Soul, and more. Come celebrate with outrageous street performers and authentic bands direct from New Orleans. Best of all, the fun's all included with your Universal Studios admission. Make it a Mardi Gras weekend with hotel accommodations and 2 park tickets, all for one low price. It's the biggest party this side of the bayou. Don't just stand there, let the music move you. It's Mardi Gras at Universal Studios.
Footmart USA is still the best place to get the hottest items in urban fashion wear. We have the biggest selection of apparel and footwear for men, women, and kids, like Air Jordans, Air Force Ones, Nike Dunks, PF Flyers, Supra, Levi's, and much, much more. And don't forget to take advantage of Footmart USA's weekly buy one, get one free specials on select footwear and apparel. Come on in now to two of the biggest footwear and apparel stores in South Florida. Footmart USA, where you get the hottest gear at the best prices.
Hi, I'm Jeff Katz from Dolphin Carpet and Tile. During these tough economic times, we've slashed our prices to the lowest levels in our history. No reasonable offer will be refused. Dolphin Carpet and Tile wants your business. If you need new flooring, now is the time to buy.
This is the worst economic crisis most of us have ever seen, but some Americans can still remember the Great Depression. And as CBS's Michelle Miller reports, one seasoned veteran is sharing her recipes for survival.
What can I do?
Nothing.
Not so mild-mannered great-grandmother Clara Canucciari cooks pasta in her kitchen, where she minces garlic, but never words. Whoop.
That's a fine way to start.
Oh, no.
You can't waste anything.
She's cooking the recipes she learned as a girl in Chicago during the Great Depression.
Every night was pasta. When we got sauce, that was on Sunday.
Her family ate what they could afford or did without. Tell me about egg drop soup.
Yeah, that's cheap and that's easy.
What are the ingredients?
Just eggs and water.
That's it?
That's it.
Now Clara's Depression meals, average cost under 50 cents a serving, are a surprise hit on the web.
Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Clara, I'm 93 years old, and today we are making meals from the Depression.
She shares a lifetime of savings tricks.
We would turn off the gas and let it cook by its own heat, so we would save gas.
And a lifetime of memories.
My father, he was a dapper old man.
Her webisodes include pasta, of course, potatoes, and stale bread with water and oil.
You can't use it for anything else. We went through a lot of hard times.
Do you think, in comparison, we're a bunch of whiners?
Oh, yes.
We brought her grandson Chris with us. He's the one who taped her for the family and then decided to post the videos on the web.
This is good for old people that don't have teeth.
People started searching the word depression a lot, and the cooking show came up, and people saw it, and they liked it, and they kept watching.
Chris then added a Facebook page and a blog for Clara's worldwide fans, who let her know what they think.
Thanks for sharing, and greetings from Holland.
Clara doesn't like the spotlight much.
No, I don't want to taste it.
She doesn't want any.
It's time to eat.
But a new generation is soaking up every word.
Thank you for listening.
Michelle Miller, CBS News, Skinny Atlas, New York.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us this half hour. This is CBS News, Up to the Minute.
Can where you live improve your chances of surviving cancer? New information revealed in the Nationwide Cancer Report Card. Tonight on the CBS Evening News.
For news and weather alerts on your phone, go to CBS4.com and click the wireless button.
I think this is a good first step in starting a process that the president believes is long overdue.
Medical checkup. The White House hosts a summit to reform health care. Rest and recovery. Former First Lady Barbara Bush is said to be doing well following open heart surgery. A shocking courtroom attack. A defendant stabs a judge presiding over his murder trial.
He tried to stab the judge, he stabbed her, and they shot him in the head and they killed him.
This is the CBS Morning News for Thursday, March 5th, 2009. Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Gielan. This morning, former First Lady Barbara Bush is recovering from successful open heart surgery. The operation to replace a failing aortic valve was done yesterday at a Houston hospital. Allison Triarci of our Houston station, KHOU, reports.
Doctors say the operation went extremely well. They tell us that Barbara Bush is recovering in the ICU here at Methodist Hospital with her husband, former President George H.W. Bush, by her side. She underwent a 2.5-hour surgery to replace her aortic valve. Dr. Gerald Lowry performed the surgery. Doctors tell us that the surgery was scheduled last week after the former First Lady complained of shortness of breath. Doctors detected a hardened aortic valve, which when left untreated can cause heart failure or sudden death. The valve was replaced with a biologic valve, which is made of animal tissues. You'll remember back in November, Mrs. Bush underwent surgery here at Methodist to repair a perforated ulcer. Doctors say she is fully recovered from that surgery and that the two are not related. Former President Bush said that he was impressed and grateful with his wife's team of doctors and nurses. He said that she is in the best of hands. She is expected to recover here at Methodist for the next 7 to 10 days. Allison Triarci for CBS News.
Healthcare reform takes center stage at the White House today. President Obama will host a summit to build support to overhaul the nation's ailing healthcare system. Susan Roberts is in Washington with more. Susan, good morning.
Michelle, good morning to you. The president is making it very clear he would like healthcare legislation reform passed this year. Republicans are saying they agree with the president, but yet they are cautioned about a government-run system.
President Obama wants to find a cure for a healthcare system he says is making the economy sick. The president's hoping to get some good ideas at today's White House summit from a broad group of patients, doctors, insurers, and lawmakers.
This is a good first step in starting a process that the president believes is long overdue.
The U.S. spends $2.4 trillion a year on its healthcare system, making it the most expensive in the world. Yet an estimated 48 million Americans are uninsured. President Obama wants to set aside $634 billion over the next 10 years as a down payment for health care reform. That's about half the money needed to provide coverage for every American. But many Republicans are against the tax cut on the wealthy the president's proposed to make it happen. Some lawmakers, like Montana Senator Max Baucus, who will play a leading role in writing health care legislation, have other worries. In a statement, Baucus said, "My concern, frankly, is the viability of the down payment and how it will help Congress contain the costs associated with reforming the health care system." President Obama's aides say he's determined to pass health care legislation this year. While the president's hoping for bipartisan support, they say he won't put up with interest groups or other parties trying to stop him.
And the White House is saying Secretary Designate Kathleen Sebelius will not be in attendance today. She's actually still transitioning from the Kansas governor's office, and of course, she still needs to be confirmed. Michelle?
Susan Roberts in Washington. Susan, thanks. The House is scheduled to vote today on a broad housing measure aimed at preventing home foreclosures. Yesterday, the Obama administration announced another housing plan designed to help homeowners refinance or modify their mortgages. Chip Reed reports.
The Obama administration officially kicked off its plan to help millions of struggling families stay in their homes, a program with two major parts. The first is intended to help 3 to 4 million homeowners on the brink of foreclosure by providing $75 billion in incentives for lenders and homeowners to modify mortgages. When the president first previewed the plan 2 weeks ago, he said it will only help people who've acted responsibly.
It will not reward folks who bought homes they knew from the beginning they would never be able to afford.
So who's eligible for help under the rules announced today? Only homeowners who can no longer afford their monthly payments because their interest rate has increased, they're bringing in less income due, for example, to job loss, or they're experiencing a hardship such as high medical bills. For people who meet one of those requirements, the next step is to go to the Treasury Department website, financialstability.gov, and answer some questions, including, is your home your primary residence? And is the amount you owe on your home less than $729,750? Questions intended to weed out speculators, investors, and high-income earners. Those who think they qualify will have to prove it by submitting financial information, including tax returns, pay stubs, credit card balances, even a sworn affidavit explaining their financial hardship. The second part of the program would help 4 to 5 million homeowners refinance to lower mortgage rates, but only if their home loans are held by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. The housing program needs no approval by Congress. It starts now. So the White House says if you think you qualify, call your mortgage company. But they also say, please be patient, because those phone lines are swamped. Chip Reed, CBS News, the White House.
On the CBS News Money Watch, Asian stock markets are mixed this morning. Claire Lake is here in New York with more on that and the rest of today's business news. Claire, good morning.
Good morning to you, Michelle. Japan's Nikkei jumped nearly 2% overnight. News that the Chinese government says its economy could grow 8% this year despite the worsening global financial crisis wasn't enough, however, to keep Hong Kong stocks out of the red. The Hang Seng Index ended down nearly 1%. Now on Wall Street, stocks rebounded off 12-year lows, rising for the first time in 5 days. Hope spread that China and the U.S. were taking bold action to jumpstart their economies. The Dow rallied nearly 150 points to 68.75. The S&P 500 clawed its way back above 700. Now, the unemployment lines probably got longer last week. The Labor Department will report weekly jobless claims probably stayed near record highs as more companies laid off thousands of workers. New York State's Attorney General Andrew Cuomo wants to question several top Merrill Lynch executives who were each paid more than $10 million in cash and stock last year as the company bled more than $27 billion. The Wall Street Journal reports Cuomo has issued subpoenas to 7 executives, including Merrill's former top investment banker Andrea Orcel, who earned $34 million last year. Merrill Lynch has come under fire for the more than $3.5 billion in bonuses it paid out to employees before its shotgun marriage to Bank of America. And we all need some good news during these tough economic times. FedEx office will provide free resume printing services to its customers on March 10th. FedEx says it wants to help people struggling in the recession. More than 1,600 locations nationwide will print up to 25 black and white copies of each customer's resume free of charge. The orders must be placed and picked up in the store. Michelle, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and hey, you could hit multiple FedEx locations.
Yeah, that's right.
Claire Lake here in New York. Claire, thanks. Just ahead on the morning news, violence in a California court leaves one person dead and another seriously injured. And caught on video, a Michigan teenager brutally beats his school bus driver. We'll tell you why. First, Katie Kirk has a preview of tonight's CBS Evening News.
Her colon cancer may have been detected earlier if her state had required insurance companies to pay for a colonoscopy. How does your state rate when it comes to this potentially life-saving procedure? Find out tonight, only on the CBS Evening News.
Imagine relaxing to the world's most beautiful music. Imagine 100 of the most soothing melodies of all time. Now, Time Life proudly brings you 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for a very special price. You'll hear more than 5 hours of masterpieces by the world's greatest composers. Call now to get 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for just $24.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card and we'll cut the price to just $9.99. That's right, you'll get 5 relaxing CDs for the incredible price of $9.99. Then preview other beautiful classical CDs. Satisfaction guaranteed. So call now and get 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for just $9.99.
Call 1-800-568-9235 to order 100 classics for relaxation on 5 CDs for just $9.99 plus shipping and handling when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card. Call now.
Thousands of people rallied against California's gay marriage ban last night in San Francisco. An attempt to rescind Prop 8 goes before the state Supreme Court today. Both houses of the state legislature have passed resolutions supporting efforts to overturn Prop 8. There was bloodshed and gunfire in a California courtroom. Police in Stockton say Judge Cinda Fox was stabbed yesterday by a man on trial for killing his girlfriend. They say David Paradiso left the witness chair to attack the judge before he was shot to death by a police detective. His mother says it did not have to happen.
How did you know that he had a weapon?
He told a family member and I called.
Who did you talk to?
I talked to a sheriff in San Joaquin County Jail. And I told him he had a weapon. Jumped up on the thing. He tried to stab the judge. He stabbed her and they shot him in the head and they killed him.
And after Deborah...
And he's laying on the floor dead.
The judge was treated at a hospital and released. A Michigan teenager is being held on assault charges after he brutally beat his school bus driver. Now, a word of caution, the video is disturbing to see. The driver, a woman, says she suffered a broken hand as she tried to fend off her 16-year-old attacker. When another student tried to stop the assault, he was pushed away and it started again. The accused reportedly has a history of violent attacks on teachers. A skydiver in England found out the hard way about the value of a reserve parachute. Jamie Robertson made it out of the plane all right, but then, he slammed into the tail wing and was knocked unconscious. But here's the thing, the impact forced his backup chute to open, and so he floated 4,500 feet to the ground. Now, despite suffering some bruises, Robertson has gone skydiving 5 more times since last summer's mishap. And in Turkey, a very close call after a train struck a tractor trailer. Now, the truck driver didn't clear the train tracks, and a train hit the trailer as it crossed the tracks. But look at the man standing nearby. He gets hit by the truck, and then it passes over his motionless body. Incredibly, he suffered only minor injuries. The man says he regards February 25th, the day the accident happened, as his new birthday. Straight ahead, your Thursday morning weather, and in sports, the Spurs and the Mavericks shoot it out in a Southwest Division showdown.
It rotates to Kidd for 3. Spurs.
Attention, diabetics with Medicare.
If you're a diabetic, I have news that could change your life. USA Medical has a new and nearly pain-free way to test your blood glucose. No more painful finger pricks. This new meter allows you to test on your arm or your palm, and it's virtually pain-free. But that's not all. It talks.
Your blood glucose reading is 97.
Seeing and hearing your reading helps confirm accuracy. Best of all, USA Medical will send you one.
I made the call. USA Medical handled everything. The meter and my testing supplies showed up at the front door. Couldn't be easier.
With USA Medical, you can get all your diabetic supplies delivered to your door. They pay shipping, they work with Medicare and your doctors, and they handle the paperwork.
I don't test on my fingers anymore. I use my arm, and I can barely feel it. And I love how this meter talks to me.
Your blood glucose reading is 103.
Change the way you test. Call USA Medical.
Healthful life from Purina Cat Chow. With real chicken, wholesome greens, delicious salmon, and a touch of cranberry and cheese. Finally, it's all come together. Healthful life from Purina Cat Chow. Yes, healthy can be delicious.
Separated by their age.
What's your name? It's Hannah.
Held by their passion.
I can't live without you.
Be seduced by the year's most provocative thriller. Academy Award winner Kate Winslet in The Reader. Rated R.
Here's a look at the weather in some cities around the country. New York, sunny 40 degrees. Miami, 74. Chicago, partly cloudy and mild at 56 degrees. Denver, 70. Los Angeles, partly cloudy, 65 degrees. It's time now for a check on the national forecast. The latest satellite picture shows clear skies across the east. Some clouds are forming over the bone-dry plains, and it's a gray morning throughout the northwest. Later today, the northwest will still feel like January as temperatures are well below seasonal levels, remaining chilly and wet. It'll feel like May once again across the southern and central plains as temperatures soar into the 70s and 80s. In sports, the Cavaliers had a chance to clear a key hurdle. A three-pointer from LeBron James put the Cavs up by 12 in the second quarter against Milwaukee. Richard Jefferson cut the lead to 10 with a fourth quarter slam, but James's 23 points led the Cavs past the Bucks as Cleveland became the first team to clinch a playoff berth 91-73. In Dallas, the Mavericks' Josh Howard scored 29 points in a key matchup with the Southwest Division leading Spurs. Jason Kidd sealed the deal with a three-pointer with 31 seconds left as the Mavs beat the Spurs 107-102. A three-pointer from Vince Carter put New Jersey up by 3 in the fourth quarter against the Celtics, but Paul Pierce nailed the game winner with 20 seconds left to play. Celtics beat New Jersey 115-111. In college action, March Madness is just around the corner. Number 4 Oklahoma's Blake Griffin scored 16 points on his way to his 24th double-double of the season. But DeMarre Carroll scored 15 points to lead 15th-ranked Missouri to the upset win, 73-64. When we return, another look at this morning's top stories and remembering an extraordinary playwright and screenwriter who chronicled the lives of ordinary people.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer, one of many linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in mills, shipyards, or in the heating, construction, and automotive industries may have put you at risk. Secondhand exposure to people close to you may have also resulted in mesothelioma or another asbestos-related cancer. Please don't wait. Call 1-800-728-7901. That's 1-800-728-7901.
For the price of lunch in a bag, how about a real lunch? Applebee's Pick and Pair lunch combos starting at $5.99. Over 75 combinations of soup, salad, sandwiches, and pasta. Applebee's Pick and Pair lunch combos. The best deal in the neighborhood.
The rhinovirus, a leading cause of the common cold. Used to be you could only cover up the symptoms of your cold. Zicam is different. Taken at the first sign, Zicam is clinically proven to shorten a cold. Get over your cold faster with Zicam.
The CBS 4i team investigates local problems
and works hard to find solutions. Take a deep breath.
What most people don't know about smoke detectors.
How are your tax dollars being spent? We went through the budget line by line.
Where are your eyes, your ears? Do you feel safe living here? No.
Your voice when no one else is listening. A near accident covered up for weeks until the I-Team got involved. We're the CBS 4 I-Team.
When we report, we get results.
All new. How is Roy? Does he have brain damage? Can the man walk? Siegfried and Roy. 5 years after the near-fatal attack. What happened to the tiger? Our exclusive look as 2020 goes behind the scenes for their farewell performance. Were they nervous or anxious? Then, buff and top, hot belly, post-baby pooch. Are these 3 products fab or flab? In our Human Lab Belly Fat Edition. Next Rach.
Today at 9 on CBS 4.
On the CBS Morning News, here's a look at today's weather. It'll be another warm day across the southern and central plains with temperatures climbing into the 70s and 80s. The northwest will be chilly and wet, while the east remains bright and sunny. Here's another look at this morning's top stories. Former First Lady Barbara Bush is recovering from open heart surgery. Mrs. Bush was operated on yesterday in Houston. Doctors replaced her aortic valve and say the surgery went exceptionally well. President Obama hosts a health care summit at the White House today. The president says he wants to reform the nation's health care system and cover more Americans who do not have insurance. Senate Democrats are trying to drum up Republican support in time for a vote on a $410 billion spending bill. A vote could come as early as today. President Obama is promising to sign the package, but there's growing opposition over what's in the bill. It includes money for more than 9,000 pet projects of Congress worth almost $8 billion. Nancy Cordes reports.
Detroit's Tiger Stadium hasn't hosted a ball game since 1999. And yet lawmakers are pitching $3.8 million to preserve its crumbling remnants as a landmark.
Is that a priority for the Congress? If it's really a priority for the Congress, I got to tell you, I don't belong here.
At a time when Washington isn't exactly flush with cash, members of Congress have slipped thousands of pork barrel projects into a bill that's meant to keep the government running. There's $200,000 for tattoo removal in California, $1.9 million for water taxis in Connecticut, and $4.5 million for wood utilization research. That earmark has been popping up since 1985.
Taxpayers have now forked over $95 million to study how to use wood. And that's something that the industry should be paying for, not the taxpayers.
That was Mr. Obama's stance during the campaign.
President, I will go line by line.
But today, even as Obama unveiled sweeping plans to cut waste in government contracting, the White House said it will wait to tackle earmarks.
And we'll change the rules going forward.
That means several administration officials will get to keep the earmarks they inserted before leaving Congress, including Vice President Joe Biden, Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel, and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. If the bill passes, you'll spend $1.8 million to control pig odor in Iowa.
But I can tell you in farm country, manure and odor management are profoundly serious challenges.
Add up all those pet projects and it's more than $7.5 billion worth of bipartisan pork.
There are even earmarks in the bill directed towards a lobbying firm that's under investigation for corruption. A move to strip those 13 earmarks was defeated on the Senate floor late Wednesday. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Pulitzer Prize and Oscar-winning writer Horton Foote has died. He won his Pulitzer in 1995 for The Young Man from Atlanta. President Bill Clinton presented him with the National Medal for the Arts in 2000. Foote's screen adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird won him one of 2 Academy Awards. Horton Foote was 92.
And if you find fancy gentlemen ain't gonna do nothing about it, then you're just a bunch of lousy, yellow, stinking...
Decisions. Which Beneful prepared meal tonight? Roasted chicken recipe? Okay, savory rice and lamb stew. You're right. Tonight is a beef stew kind of night. You've made another fine choice. Look at those beefy chunks all packed with protein, the real vitamin-rich vegetables, the wholesome grains. And you think you're getting spoiled, but it's so good for you, too.
Beneful prepared meals. 3 new entrees. Healthful, flavorful, Beneful.
In January alone, Expedia customers saved over $29 million by booking their flight and hotel together. Now it's your turn. Book together on Expedia. We get special rates. You get the savings. Expedia.com.
Taking care of our kids, working hard, making time for friends. A hectic life can make you feel run down and may weaken your natural defenses. Drink Dan Active with LKCI Immunitas. It's clinically proven to help strengthen your body's defenses.
It's Mardi Gras time at Universal Studios.
Let the music move you at Universal Studios Mardi Gras. Saturdays and select nights now through April 18th. Enjoy the spectacular parade, beads by the handful, and our most exciting concert lineup ever. Catch live performances by some of the biggest names in music, including Bare Naked Ladies, Montgomery Gentry, Collective Soul, and more. You can enjoy every Mardi Gras concert with our brand new 2-park season pass. On sale for a limited time, the 2-park season pass gives you the excitement of both amazing Universal Orlando theme parks. And coming this spring, put music into motion with the new innovative roller coaster, Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. So get the 2009 2-park season pass today and experience both Universal Orlando theme parks and every night of Mardi Gras. It's the biggest party this side of the bayou. Don't just stand there. Let the music move you. It's Mardi Gras at Universal Studios.
The California woman who gave birth to octuplets apparently has been under investigation by authorities after police had to be called to her home. The incident happened before the 8 children were born. In one instance, she called 911 after losing track of one of her other children. Tara Mergener reports.
911 emergency. Help me. Hi, what's going on? Help me. My son is missing. Okay. I'm going crazy. What address are you at? Okay, you're going to have to calm down. What address are you at? Where's my son? 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 What's your address? Where's my son? 136. Please
Security website TMZ reports that both Child Services and police were called to Nadia Sullivan's home at least 5 times in the year before she gave birth to the octuplets.
Ma'am, what's your name? Nadia, N-A-D. Help me. Okay. Where was he the last time you saw him? An hour ago. I know, but where was he? Ma'am, where was he? Outside. He was out front? Outside. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh, God, help me. God, help me. Oh, God, help me. God, help me. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. God, help me. Okay, are your neighbors helping you look for him? Yeah, they don't see him anywhere. Okay. Where's JJ? Did you go in the house to see if he went in the house to hide or He's nowhere. He's nowhere. He's nowhere in the back. He's nowhere in the house. God, help me. Where's JJ? Where's my baby?
January 9th, 2008, police respond to a call that one child locked him or herself in a room. The cops picked the lock. May 12th and August 10th, twice neighbors report a possible break-in at the home. Both times police find that the front door had been left open. July 8th, Family Services responds to a neighbor's complaint that Nadia's children are not clean or being fed properly. A later report says the charge was unfounded. October 27th, Nadia calls police because she says one of her children are missing.
Please, God, help me. What if someone came in the car, some stranger? Oh, God, I'm going to kill myself. 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 I'm going to kill myself. Oh. Hey, don't say that in front of your other child, okay? Keep yourself under control for your other child. He doesn't need to hear that. Okay? Sure. Whoa. What, Mommy? He went on a walk. What? He went on a walk and he came back by himself.
Turns out the child had followed Grandma around the block.
No bombshells, but not good news for a woman who can't seem to turn the tide of bad press. Tara Mergener for CBS News, Washington.
I'm Michelle Gielan. Have a great day.
CBS News is very good news.
Coming up, you need a job in a bad economy. What could be worse? Getting ripped off by an employment scam. The top jobs to stay away from. Coming up on The Early Show.
It's a mad world.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up.
March Madness on CBS.
Do you want to be a part of the biggest upset on Survivor history?
New Survivor, CBS tonight.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Jim Barry.
And I'm Cynthia Demas. Here's what's making news right now. South Florida stopped for Vice President Joe Biden. We're live where he'll speak about the middle class and finding jobs today.
Also, comedian Robin Williams is in a South Florida hospital, what he's reportedly being treated for.
And sea rescues. The boating tragedy in Southwest Florida calls attention to the challenge facing the Coast Guard every day, what they do to ensure boating safety.
CBS 4 News This Morning starts right now.
From Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys, this is South Florida's CBS 4 News.
The time now is 4:59 and change on Thursday, March 5th. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Jim Barry.
And I'm Cynthia Demas, and we're talking about the 60s.
We're talking about the 60s?
Groovy.
The music, you mean?
No, we're
or
talking
the
about the
temperatures?
weather. Lisa Gonzalez is here with the 60s.
Yes, good morning, Cynthia and Jim. Finally on the map, we're seeing those temperatures on the rise. You know, a few mornings ago, we had the 30s popping up in the 40s, but right now we're seeing some improvement if you're not a fan of the cold weather. Right now, a milder start for you, 64 degrees in Fort Lauderdale, 62 in Miami, and 58 degrees in West Kendall. Looking at those winds veering a little bit more out of the east, anywhere from 8 to even 12 miles an hour. That'll be creating a high risk of rip currents, which will be the case even as we head into the weekend. And as you can see this afternoon, those temperatures will continue to increase. 75 degrees, mild and breezy this evening, a comfy breeze, 67. We'll let you know if the warming trend will continue into the weekend and just how warm it'll be if that trend continues. All the details straight ahead right now. Let's check in with Christine Laurent with a look at your traffic. Good morning, Christina.
Hello there, Lisette. Good morning to you. If you take the Dolphin Expressway to work via 27th Avenue, you need to add some extra time to your trip. The exit ramps and entrance ramps ramps are being worked on this morning, and chances are it's going to be hit or miss whether or not you can access the entrance or exit ramp. So what you'll want to do is go ahead and give yourself extra time at 27th Avenue. They're also working on the Dolphin Expressway at I-95 this morning, so give yourself some extra time there. This should all wrap up by about 5:30. We'll keep you posted. If you're catching a flight this morning, no delays out of either major airport, but we do have some construction to tell you about on the Sawgrass Expressway. Expect lane closures there each night starting at 8 p.m. and until about 6 a.m. And so that's going to last until Friday of this week. And we'll keep you updated on all the construction and trouble areas for your commute. For CBS 4 Traffic, I'm Christina Loren.
Thank you, Christina. First this morning, President Barack Obama spelled out his plan to help homeowners drowning in housing debt.
It's a $75 billion package, and here's how it works. Homeowners must go online and prove they are in trouble, financialstability.com. If they do, then they could be eligible for cheaper financing. The plan could benefit about 14 million homeowners, some who are in foreclosure, as well as others who are upside down on their mortgages, owning more than what their home is worth.
Now this morning, Vice President Joe Biden will make a stop in South Florida. He will address labor union leaders about issues which affect the working middle class. CBS 4's Leave Davalos is live at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami Beach, where Biden will speak later this morning. Leave, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. Well, the Vice President will speak with those labor union leaders at 11 o'clock this morning right here at the Fontainebleau Hotel here